Now we can look at making these window and door tags even a bit more smarter and look a bit more presentable. You'll notice that these tags, if we place them over something, still have the lines going in underneath them and stopping where the text is in the tag. That's because that text is an opaque text, not transparent. But let's make the whole box opaque, and that'll make it a lot more clearer along here. We're also going to modify the window one to include as an option the word over, which will indicate a window over if you decide to use it like that. So whatever I do to the window one, you could always do to the door one except for the over function. So to start, we would be editing the family of the window tag. Here's the family of the window tag. I'll pull the dimension down a bit to get it out of the way. And if we investigate this tag, we'll find that it is created from a series of lines, like that, and also two text boxes. And if we investigate the text, we'll see that it's opaque text, and it's a certain size of text, etc. So let's look at changing all this now. What we'll be doing is using filled regions instead of these lines, but we do need these lines to guide us as to the original shape for at least the first filled region we put in. We're going to have to put in two. So let's put these in. We go up to create. Well, it's not a filled region, we're actually putting a masking region in. And we can use the square function. We'll start there and we'll continue where the reference plane joins to that point there. We don't have to lock it. And now that we have created that filled region there, if we click on it and highlight it, we actually have to edit the sketch to make sure. All these lines should be of the type window tag, which is fine, and they all are. So I'll finish that. Now that we've got the shape and size of one side of it, we can get rid of all these other lines underneath. So if I just do a window right across them all and I do a filter, I'll check none, I'll check lines, hit the OK and delete them. So now I've got the masking region, which I was guided by the lines when they were there as to the size of it. Now I'm just going to mirror that across to the other side of the reference plane. So instead of creating a new one, I just simply mirror this one. So I've selected it and then I mirror it across there, and I've got two masking regions. This one, just by habit, what I do is that I'll edit the sketch of this one. And that line there, instead of it doubling up, it shouldn't be a problem, but normally what I do here is that I'll turn that to invisible lines. So coming down here will only be one line from this masking region. This line will be invisible from this one, just in case there's a slight thickening or whatever within the tag. So if we load that back into the project, we'll see the first start of fixing these up and making them look a bit better. We'll load it in to the project. And yes, we want to overwrite everything. And the window tag now has become nice and opaque. We're not seeing the lines of the deck underneath it, and you can see that it's a lot more neater, or a lot neater, I should say. So let's go back in and edit the tag again, and this time to include the word over, which you won't need for the door tag, but for the window tag, if you use that trick I showed you in a previous video, you could always tag windows that are over, and you'd need to show the word over above this. So we'll go back in and edit the tag. And we're going to create a text box up here. So we'll create text box, and we will type in the word over, and there's our text box there, and we'll center it neatly up there. It's pretty large text, so I don't think that there's 1.5 in here, so we'll create text size of 1.5 again for this family. Text size 1.5, hit the OK, and that's now gone a bit smaller. Now I'll center that down and make it look neat and exactly centered across everything, which it looks to be pretty good now. You could actually look at these text boxes and maybe bold them. Up to you. But all is looking pretty good there. Now, if this got loaded into the project, we'd have the word over there all the time. We need to make it turn off and turn on, depending on whether or not we want to use it. To do that, we've got to create two types. So let's have a look at our family types up here. And we're going to create two types of this tag. We'll create a new type up here, and we'll call it over on. And then we'll create a new type called over off. Now, we're going to create a parameter now, which will be a visibility parameter. So we'll just type in the word over, and we'll make it a type parameter, because you won't be able to see this instance parameter in window tags. It's a bit of a strange one, but you can play with it, but you won't be able to see it as an instance parameter, I don't believe. So we have to make types here. This time, it's a yes-no type of parameter. That's the parameter that works with visibility. And we will put it under the group parameter of visibility, and we're pretty well set now. Now, if we don't want the over to be switched on, we turn that off. Then we have a look at our other type and make sure that it's on. So when over on type is selected, that parameter is turned on. So we'll hit apply and hit OK. As usual, when we've made these type of families, what we've done is we've created the object, we've created the property. Now we have to connect the two. So if we click on the object, we'll find over here that one of its properties is visible, and we can associate this parameter with that property that we just made before. So we'll associate it like that, and now that's associated. That's why it's all greyed out. And since 2017, we've had this availability of preview visibility on and off. So if we turn it on, this lets us find out whether things turn off and on properly. And I'll go up here to the family type and switch to over off and hit apply, and it turns off. So great, it's working. So we'll hit OK, and we'll just turn that off like that. So that's all fine. Now you could save that window tag to your computer, up to you, but I'm just going to load it straight back into the project. It's a quick, easy, fast thing to make. So I'll load it back in. I'll overwrite all the parameters, and there it is. So let's now look at what types of this tag are available. We've got window tag square, but look at the two types. We've got off and we have on. So there you go. There's a way of making the tags clear and visible, much more so than having lines run through them if you're over a filled region, and also having the word over turn on and off if you wish.